Phonology and its branches. Difference between phonetics and phonology. Phonology is the study of how sounds are organized in individual languages. So in phonology, we study the organization of sounds in an individual language. For example, how the syllable is made and what clusters are possible in the initial position, what sounds are possible in the pre-initial position, initial position, in the post-initial position. Similarly, what sound clusters are possible in the final position, pre-final, post-final positions. How these are joined. These two consonant cluster are joined with the vowel sounds. So how a syllable is produced in syllabic languages, especially English language, right? So phonology studies organization of individual languages. Phonetics is the study of actual process of sound making. So phonetics, contrary to the phonology, sees how language is produced. So how human speech sounds are produced. So it is a wider area in which we study the characteristics, properties, the nature of sounds, human speech sounds. Phonetics and phonology are two subfields of linguistics dealing with speech sounds. So they are two subfields of linguistics. Sometimes they are overlapping. They seem to be overlapping each other, but their areas are very clear. So let's look at some of the differences between phonology and phonetics. So far as the definition is concerned, we find that phonetics can be considered as a branch of linguistics as it deals with the study of the sounds of human speech. It also considers the function, production, and auditory qualities of human speech sound. So in phonetics, we talk about how sounds are produced. We discuss articulatory phonetics. We discuss the physical manifestation of the airstream, and we are concerned with acoustic phonetics. And then we see how it affects the listener. So we study auditory phonetics. So in phonetics, we have more to study. Contrary to phonetics, in phonology, another branch of linguistics which focuses on the organization of sounds by studying speech patterns. What are the speech patterns? How sounds are sound fall into patterns in a certain language. The key words for describing phonology are distribution and patterning related to speech. So how do we find different patterns? For example, spray. We have a s, t, and r. So this is a patterning of the sound found in English. Similarly, sixth. So we find a cluster of the final sounds together. So it has a certain combination in which we cannot move any sound within these combinations. So in phonetic, we study patterns. Physics, the basic focus is the physical feature of the sound in phonetics, and in phonology the basic focus is on the psychology of the sound, because in psychology we refer to the cognitive system, the system of the sounds. So theories of speech production and perception, how speech is produced and perceived, we discuss in phonetics, and in phonology we study the rules and constraints to find out about the combinations of sounds of a language, that which sound combinations are possible in English. For example, in English language, certain vowel sound do not start a word. For example, the middle sound of the word put, ut, u. No English words begins with this sound. Similarly, very few words in English which have mostly come from French language begins with the sound j, right? Genre, it's there, but no, very few words which are produced with such sound. Similarly, the sound in the end sound of the word sing, it does not start any English word. So, in phonology, we discuss about what are the possible combinations or possible sounds that can come in the initial position of a syllable or in the ending position of a syllable. Similarly, so far as the branches of both disciplines or sub-disciplines are concerned, we talk about acoustic phonetics, auditory phonetics, and auditory articulatory phonetics. So these are the three main branches of phonetics. Compared to them, we have phonology branches, we have segmental phonology, and we have supra-segmental phonology. In segments, we discuss segments in segmental phonology, and we discuss certain features like stress, intonation, tone imposed on segments in supra-segmental phonology. Whereas in phonetics, acoustic, we refer to the sound waves. Auditory, we discuss phonetics with reference to the perception of sound by the listener. And articulatory, we refer to the speaker, how he she produces sound. So these are some divisions that we can mark between phonetic and phonology, which are the two sub fields of linguistics.